Today, I am going to show you two different methods on how you can make fully moving trains for your Minecraft machinimas. In case if you're wondering, these shots are from my latest film, The Deep Western. You should totally check it out, by the way. Alright, if we are going to be filming some trains, we are going to first need a train model. Alright, here, this is the page for the train model that I'm using. You can use any train that you want. This is just the one that I'm happy to use. Moving on to the first method, I want to record my train carts flipping through the air. For this, we will need to be in version 1.20.1 with the Fabric mod loader. Though, it looks like each of these mods also have a Forge variant. I'm just going to be using Fabric for myself. We will need the Fabric API, Create mod, Clockwork, Valkyrie and Skies, World Edit, and the Replay mod. Once you have all these mods installed, we will want to open up the world with all the train models. Here we are going to need to isolate the train that we want and get rid of everything else. Get a wand using World Edit, select the boundary of the train, and save it as a schematic. Now I'm going to switch over to the world I've been using for the Deep Western, and we are going to load up the train schematic we just saved. Here I am going to get 3 items, the Wonder Wand, a Physics Infuser, and a Supercharged Gravitron. Using the Wonder Wand, we will make a selection of the train we want to add physics to. After that, place down the Physics Infuser and right-click it with the Wonder Wand, and it will begin generating a physics model for it. After that, we can use the Supercharged Gravitron to lift the train engine and move it over to the train tracks that we had built in this world. Before we begin recording, I highly recommend backing up the world, just in case you mess up the recording itself. I had to do it so many times for Deep Western. Now that all we need to do is start the replay mod and have fun with the train physics. Alright, for the second method, I want to record the train actually riding along the tracks. This one relies on the Flashback mod and math. For this tutorial, I am using the 1.21.1 version of the mod. We are also going to need to bring over the train and filming worlds over to this same version. The first step in this process is to find the spot at which you want to record the train tracks. Here in this filming world, I want to use a straight line of tracks. Here is a good spot. Then we want to hit record on Flashback and wait about 30 seconds and save the recording. After that, exit the world and load up the recording. Here, we want to find the best position for the camera. When you do find the spot that you like, keep track of the camera coordinates that you use, the yaw, pitch, and your FOV. Once you do find the spot, place a camera marker at the start and end of the timeline. Next, you will want to take the coordinates of the nearest track beams, and you will want to have the camera coordinates be subtracted by the track beam coordinates. This gives the relative distance you need to go from that track beam to the camera. After this, you can now render out this scene. For the second step, we will need to move back to the trains world and begin recording with Flashback for another 30 seconds. Once done, open up that replay file and in the game window, switch back to creative mode. Here, we will rebuild the train tracks beneath the start of the train to give us an understanding of where that camera should be. Once you're done rebuilding the train track, just in front of the train, you don't have to rebuild the whole thing, stand in the exact middle of the track beam, switch back to spectator mode, and using the relative positions we just took, teleport your player to your new spot. If you're not next to the tracks exactly where you want to be, repeat this process and switch the values until it is correct. Whatever you do, do not move your player until you have at least copied your new coordinates or have placed a camera marker in the timeline. These coordinates are now at the same relative position as you were in the other world. Alright, in the timeline where the position marker is, set the yaw and pitch values to that of what you had already recorded. If this puts you in another direction than the one that you actually need, use the teleport command to rotate your player by 90-degree increments. Now copy your camera marker and paste a second marker further into your timeline. In this example, the train is going along the negative x-axis, so I will decrease the x value of this camera till it reaches the end of the train. Once you have done all that, delete all the block override markers within the timeline, as well as go into creative mode and get rid of all other blocks that can be potentially seen in the clip. Lastly, go back into spectator mode to see the flashback UI, and disable all world renderings except for blocks, leaving you with a green screen. With this, we are good to render the scene, and we can now move into our video editing software. I'm using the free version of DaVinci Resolve for this. Take the video files we just created and put them into the timeline, with the background footage on the bottom layer and the green screen train on the top layer. Now go into Effects, Resolve FX, and type in 3D Keyer. Drag the 3D Keyer into the green screen train footage, and open up the Inspector panel and open up the Effects tab. Now on the footage, set it to Open FX Overlay, and now rid of the green screen just by clicking on it. To clean it up, I found that the behavior options need to be set at YUV, Flat, and 1.0 Despill. Cool, now we got a moving train, but it feels like it was just pasted onto the footage. To solve this, we are going to add some shake to the train and add some shadows to it. Alright, getting started with adding some shake, we need to go into Effects, Effects again, and add an adjustment clip on the top layer. There, go to Resolve FX and search Shake, and add that to the adjustment clip. Adjust the emotion scale however you like. I'm starting with 0.016, and about halfway in the middle I'm going to 1.0 with the camera shake. Lastly, to add some shadows, add a cut on the timeline just as the train enters into frame. And from there, open up the Color tab. There, we are going to create pairs of keyframes. And on the second frame, we want to decrease the shadow value from 0 to about -61 for best results. Now, we have a fully moving train. You can add some train sound effects and you'll be good. So if you actually found this tutorial helpful, please consider subscribing, and thank you for watching, and please watch The Deep Western.